Everyone, it's Ellis, and this is going to be a longer video, and we're doing it live on stream, obviously, right now, in case there's any hiccups. And in this, apparently, this is the mega update that's coming for 13.10. It is supposed to be the biggest patch that they've released. I really hope that it is something actually of substance and spectacular. Okay.
I'm Andre, also known as Medler.
I'm Jeremy, aka Riot Brightman.
Now, today is Monday.
I just want to point out that I absolutely love the Riot hoodie.
Also known as Medler.
I'm Jeremy, aka Riot Brightman.
Now, today is Monday, April 17th, and we're back for our fourth of these dev update videos.
We have a lot to cover today, and to help us do it, we're going to be joined by a familiar face to many of you, Ryan Reeve Morales, who will be talking about new champions and the upcoming 2v2v2v2 game mode.
But before we get to that, let's talk about mid-season, ranked reset, itemization changes, and some quality of life updates.
Okay, for the first time, we're doing a partial ranked reset in July before starting the second ranked split. We've got a blog from last November where we go into all the reasons why and details, and we'll link that in the description of this video. But we'll use this mid-season to make some adjustments to game systems and content. Not at the scale of preseason, like when we redo the runes or item systems.
Or the jungle, every time.
Or the jungle.
True.
But it's going to be a bit more than a standard balance patch.
Now, the biggest focus of the mid-season this time will be on itemization. At a high level, we're not very happy with the current state of mythic items as an overall system, and based off your feedback,
Yes!
are a lot of you.
Good!
Therefore, we need to find a better direction for them. So at mid-season, we're going to be testing some stuff out. And we're going to be trying that through changes to ADC mythic items, some overall changes to lethality, working on game health there especially, and starting an update on enchanter items to be more satisfying and fun to use. We're then going to take the learnings from that work to inform our future plans for the item system as a whole, likely meaning a bunch of other changes in preseason. If we're seeing a lot more promise in mythic items after those changes, we'll commit to that, we'll continue, we'll reinforce that newfound direction. If that's still not working though, we'll then explore some much more divergent approaches, radical changes to how mythic items function and why they're there.
I just have to point out, whoever did his makeup, if he's not wearing makeup, this is actually insane. Whoever did his makeup, it's actually a work of art.
Or potentially just removal.
His makeup is fantastic.
As a
Or
concept.
maybe it's the After
Keep a lot
Effects.
of the items around, but take out the restriction, etc., and retune their balance. Beyond that, a couple of other things to note for the mid-season. This is when the Ivan mid-scope update that we mentioned a little while back is going to come out. And it's also very likely that we're going to ship buff sharing for the red and blue jungle buffs. For everybody, not just when Ivan's in the game. Now, if you want to hear more about the itemization side of things, there's a dev blog out today that has some more detail on our thinking there.
Okay.
Now let's talk about bots. And actually today we're going to talk about two kinds, the bad kind and the good kind.
And the ugly.
I previously mentioned that we'd be investing in removing unwanted bots in your games. We recently conducted a major bot banning wave, so you should see less unwanted bots in queues, including in ranked. Now, we do these bans quietly and in waves, so it's harder for bot makers to respond to. So that's why we don't often talk about these. But we're still working on it and working in this space. We'll
That's
share
really
more
good.
Updates on that
That's really
in the
good.
future.
That's how WoW has to
Now
do
let's
it
talk
too.
about the good kind of bots, the kind that you actually want in your games. We've brought a new team together focusing on improving our bot AI. We want to build bots that will help new and experienced players alike practice and get better at League in a
Wow.
lower stakes and less stressful environment. Our improved bot AI systems will also give our devs new tools to work with and open doors to new content.
Ooh.
Testing these new bots on PBE later this year, and we'll
Okay.
your feedback. These new bots also can order pizza and have it delivered to your house anytime you want if you just ask them. It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, is there a dev blog about the pizza?
There's a dev blog out today with more information on our goals for bot AI and what you can expect.
Okay.
Along with the bot changes, we've also got some other quality of life type stuff coming out soon. So first off, we talked previously about how we were deprecating 32-bit OS support in another video. And one of the benefits of that is it's meant more memory is available for other things. One of those is the emote wheel. As a first change, we're going to be expanding that from 5 slots to 9. But we're also exploring some other further improvements to it at some point this year.
Okay.
Which could include ability to favorite particular emotes or better ability to search them or multiple emote pages, that sort of thing. So if you have particular thoughts on what you'd like to see there, please do let us know. Another thing we've been working on is re-enabling a lot of champion dialogue lines that have broken over the years. We've identified about 4,500 lines spread across 100 different champions and skins that either used to function and don't anymore, or were never hooked up properly in the first place, or are there but get played over by other lines of dialogue. So we're working through re-enabling those. So on a range of champions and skins, you should hear the occasional line of dialogue you haven't.
Okay.
Legends. So a long time ago, we promised a new creature champion, and one that wasn't a cute cat or with some humanoid features like Velvet.
Okay.
A champion for people that like dark and scary monsters.
Yes.
Well, we're finally ready to release that champion. Neferi will be a new, straightforward, easier to pick up and play assassin. Or assassins, I guess. Technically a pack of assassins? We also have a new jungler named Briar, being restrained in champ development, but her bloodlust won't be contained for long. And now for some sad news.
Ooh.
I know you're all super excited for the Skarner VGU, as we saw a lot of positive reception for his new direction in the last Skarner dev blog. Don't worry, he's still in development, but we're gonna need some extra time to make sure we get his gameplay just right. What that means is Skarner won't make it out this year, and is looking more like early next year. But it's not all bad news, because as we take time to get Skarner's gameplay right, the artists that were gonna work on Skarner have been working on a visual update that many of you top lane fighter players will be very excited about. So if you remember, earlier this year, we released a small gameplay update to Jax. Well, later this year, we're gonna pair that with a visual update to Jax as well. I'm sure you're all wondering the same question we were wondering when we started working on his new look. I wonder if he had a real weapon. Well, keep wondering, because we sure as heck didn't give him one. We did give it more meaning though. Jax's weapon is now a lamppost from his hometown of Acacia before it was swallowed by the Void. It's the last thing he has from home, so he never lets it out of his sight. But that thing is huge, so he can't possibly hold it and a real weapon at the same time, so he just uses it as a weapon instead. Look out later this year for Jax to finally get his long-deserved visual update.
Okay.
You can read more about all of the
That's gonna be
champions
cool.
in the Champion Roadmap, which is out right now. Now I want to give a little update on the 2v2v2v2 game mode,
Okay.
which we're going to ship with the big summer event this year. We are also building a completely new map from the ground up to support the mode.
Okay.
Can't wait to hear what you think about it when you get to play it in a few months. That's it for me.
That map
Here's
looked.
Bright
Wait,
about it.
that
New
map looked like.
from the
Oh my
summer
god! It
event
looked
to
like
support the
Team
mode.
Micro Arena
We
from
can't wait to
StarCraft.
hear what you think about it when you get to play it in a few months. That's it for me.
Oh my
Here's
god.
Bright Moon and Meddler.
Now, before we go, I want to remind you MSI is coming up. And there's an MSI State of the Game esports video out today with our global head of League Esports, Naz Alataha. She and I talk about everything we're doing for the event, including Ink Shadow skins, info about watch rewards, and details on the event itself.
Watch rewards.
If you're interested, please don't forget to check out the
Okay.
dev blogs we've got on AI bots, itemization, and the champion roadmap. And as always, we'd love any feedback you have on these videos in terms of content we cover, what we don't cover, overall format, etc., etc.
Dude, I love that Bright Moon and Meddler are the face of these videos. They actually just kill it. They genuinely do just kill it, man. They're so nice to listen to. You know who else I used to love in the videos was Riot Safelocked. Riot Safelocked was really good. Okay, so let's jump right into looking at this. Okay, Dev, Mid-Season, and Mythics. The Preseason 2021 items update. We discussed our goals for the previous item update a lot in the preseason 2021, where we saw a number of areas where the items weren't quite hitting the mark. A great item system should be satisfying. Add game-to-game variance and optimization, augment different playstyles, and be intuitive for players. For the 2021 update, we focus on 3 key areas of improvement: updating the item shop with a streamlined user experience and a greatly improved recommended item spin that automatically updates data from what players are actually building in each champion. We added mythic items as unique once per player exclusive items that are meant to be purchased first in most games. We carefully built the content of the item sessions so that every champion would be presented with multiple build options. We wanted to ensure that no mythic item would be above a 75% purchase rate. And that there were at least 10 legendary items per champion with at least 3% purchase rate. To accomplish this, we targeted approximately 33% new items, 33% changed items, 34% retained. Okay. Okay, the item shop. The UI and recommended overhaul went really well. There was some initial concern around change to the UI because it's normal to be resistant to change, especially for UI, but it faded quite quickly. True. Recommended items saw heavy use right out of the gate. We currently see about 28% or 68% of players using it as their primary way of navigating items, which is much higher than the old flow. We view this as a good thing while picking their mythic. Low success for new recommended items. Okay, mythic items. What we're reworking: flexibility. Champions have way more flexibility in their first item plus item purchase than before. It is in fact more common to see champions deviate in their first item today than it was before mythic item shipped. That's cool. And we have reason to believe that the champions have more flexibility when mastered than we are currently seeing due to the recommended item systems. However, for some champion item pairing, this is not the case. Kraken Slayer, Luden's Tempest, Divine Sunder, and Immortal Shieldbow are the 4 most bound items with the highest number of users that purchase them over 85% of the time. Coolness. We've created quite a cool high affinity of items that have resonated with players, look like Eclipse, Heartsteel, Jackshow, Gale Force, and the updated Rod of Ages, have found quite clear audiences and add a lot to the system. I completely agree. This is a major consideration because at its heart, League is built around an RPG-like progression loop, and enjoying the power-ups you access is an important part of keeping true. Approachability. Mythic items provide definition to the system in a way that helps make it more approachable. Decisions to the items are built more digestible. It's easy to understand that you need one mythic item, one pair of boots, and then whatever legendary suits you need. And as long as you get your mythic, you hit a baseline of power that can be easily understood. Balanceability. Mythic items create an understandable method of creating mutually exclusive items that would otherwise be too powerful or too hard to balance when purchased together. Okay, and what's not? Okay. Despite those, we agree that many of the complaints that you've been reading about the mythic items, that we aren't happy with the current state of mythic items. We're wrong about some of the initial goals and philosophies. Okay. Satisfaction. Prioritizing optimization and choice over satisfying designs has left a lot of the champions needing to buy a relatively less exciting item more often than their coolest choice. Morgana and Fiddlesticks have always cared more about going Zhonya's Hourglass than Liandry's Torment. The Zhonya's active is kit defining for them. In some extreme cases, in order to hit our goal around the item choice, we actually had to delete the satisfying items, which were too perfect. It's hard to get many enchanters to consider anything but the old Unholy Grail item if it exists in the system, prioritizing the goal of players, generalist content. Because they've served a diverse audience, all ADCs, most fighters, etc. Complexity, content creation. Because mythic items are exclusive with other, designing new mythic items requires us to consider every existing mythic item and their relationship within a complex choice structure. 2.5 years in, the system's content isn't really complete, and even when all the baseline content exists, Mid-season changes. Following as time, we're rolling out some significant changes to the 3 main areas. The larger goal here is to test a version of the system where mythic items are meant to be high power, high satisfaction capstone effects that define builds rather than being a set of situational responses to the game that you're currently playing. We're specifically looking at changing our philosophies on mythic items for champions that no longer hold holding mythics to the original 75% purchase rate and scrutiny. We are instead holding high player satisfaction as the most important value, even if it means a champion builds the same mythic every game. The largest overall change will be to ADC itemization, as this was the mythic system that was the closest. On live, ADCs effectively have 2 parallel mythic paths to follow. Gale Force, Immortal Shieldbow, Kraken Slayer, Infinity Edge, Navari Quickblades, Guinsoo's Rageblade. This leads to a uniquely constrained set of item builds. We'll be moving to a new model where ADCs, mythics are Infinity Edge, Quickblades, Rageblade, and Gale Force. Oh, wow. Kraken Slayer and Shieldbow will be redesigned to fit the legendary items, and we'll be reworking other items as needed. A couple of highlights to watch out for. Static Shield will be back in the system with a different stat profile, and Rageblade is going to look a lot more like its older version. It's very cool. The future. Okay. Enchanters will have a number of items reworked with the primary goal of being more satisfying to use with better build paths and higher satisfaction outputs, including Unholy Grail coming back. Okay. So leveling up bots, Dashador, bots in history. Bots have been in League since the beginning with light updates to the champions available up until 2014 when they rewrote all of the existing bots. Even with this rewrite, we still only supported the bots we had, which made up a small subset of the champions available at that time. Plus, we had 2 champions in top lane and no jungle, generally a bad representation of the team makeup you would experience nowadays, reinvesting in bots. Over the past few years, we reinvigorated our investment in bots. While we were never uninterested, we needed to figure out the right approach for the old League of today and League of tomorrow. Our goals: bots that jungle, gank, and take dragons. Team AI that helps bots work more strategically and cohesively. Bots can react towards meta shifts. Okay, that is wow. Okay, to provide a better wow. Okay. Provide a better way to learn and improve in League that is less stressful than PvP. Expanded champion pool, bots that work as a team, bots that can scale to match your skill level for folks looking to get good. Build our bot tech to be scalable, maintainable, and extendable so designers have new game modes, editable bot behavior, tools that enable quick jitteration. Fun, technical, okay, that is amazing. Wait, you can click this. What is it? Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. I wonder what the skill level of the bots will cap out yet. I wonder if they'll actually have bots for Challenger. I wonder if they'll have like actual scripting level bots or something that can play laning phase. And like it like turns on scripts, turns off scripts or something. I don't know. Machine learning bots that can help you grow for your next skill rank. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be so amazing. This is also going to change coaching. This is going to change coaching, and it will change everything for lower MMR players. And mid MMR players probably as well. This is actually going to be so good. Wow. Our new beta bots. First, want to make good feedback. Our beta bots will be on PvE for 2 weeks in the later half of the year, so please test them out. Okay. Thinking long-term, we're building this tech to be extendable and reusable for a variety of teams and engineers, so they can also provide new experiences. That is amazing. Okay. Okay. So, champion roadmap. All right. Hey everyone, Lexi, Riot Lexical Gao here. I'm back with another update. It's been a while since we did a champion roadmap in written form. Okay, the lone assassin dies, but the team survives. As we previously mentioned, Nefiri is meant for those who want to focus on the hunt. The assassin role can be an intimidating one to pick up. There's a lot of higher level game knowledge required to ensure that you know when to roam and how to position well, especially knowing when's the right moment to pounce and crafting an escape plan to get out alive. On top of all of that, there is still the mechanical execution of the champion's abilities. We hope to lower the burden of that execution and allow for more concentration on the macro plays with Nefiri. With the changes to assassin gameplay that Nefiri brings, we also built a lot of tech to accommodate her unique gameplay. Thematic that should make it feel more alive, dynamic, and decluttered. We'll make sure to take time to pause and evaluate the results to see if there are other champions. Wait, is she a dog? Is Nefiri a dog? Okay. To dive into the dogi. Okay, she is a dog. Okay. And then satiating and an insatiable hunger. Okay. While working on Nefiri, game designer Glenn Riot Twin Enso Anderson explored tons of kits with fervent hunger, but the team felt like they were losing control over Nefiri's kits, so they decided to icebox what Riot Twin Enso had uncovered, especially since they felt it was more in line with a diver skirmisher gameplay rather than an assassin. And lead designer August Browning saw it. He's already been really passionate about a certain champion type of mythological creature. Anyway, the team really liked the idea of exploring an uncontrollable hunger and what happens when sometimes that hunger takes over and the creature is allowed to feast on those who deserve it. I understand that personally, when I'm really hungry, I feel like I'm about to go into a frenzy. Luckily for us and all of Noxus, Briar has learned who's friend and foe, and it's on the path of reformation now that she has that insatiable hunger somewhat under control. So, I wonder if one of these two champions, you guys might remember in 2020 when Michaela was on the co-streams, Michaela accidentally leaked an assassin, and it wasn't Yone. And one of the assassins, so for people that don't know, there's a developer PC bong type thing at Riot Campus, and the developer client has a bunch of unreleased champions. And those champions only exist on those computers that are not connected to the internet. And basically you can only run, skirmishes, whatever. You can run 10-mans, or whatever. And that's where I believe that a lot of the champions are tested. Sometimes, very famous people or pro players or, other people, are invited there to try out the champions. And on a stream in 2020, Michaela accidentally leaked, and you guys might remember, there might even be clips of this still up on YouTube or whatever, that there was an assassin champion, and it's not Yone, and we know that it's not Yone because the ultimate was referred to, unless it's been reworked, that it is it's a Yone-esque ultimate, but it's global. And that it's an assassin champion that has a Yone ult that's global. And then upon, what did she say? I think it's upon killing a champion, the champion returned to where it's original. So it's like Yone's E plus his R, but it's global. So wherever the champion is, if it hits a champion, it would blink to it. And then if the champion gets the kill, you blink back to where you were. I have no idea if one of these two champions is that champion, but the fact that one is sort of a diver and the other one is a known assassin. Now the thing is that Nefiri saying that it's simple makes it, well, actually that kind of would be simple, right? You'd be able to commit to a fight, kill someone and then just get completely to safety. Whereas with Zed and Talon and Kiana and stuff, you have to think about what you're doing next. Whereas if you're ulting from a really far distance and you can just kill someone and blink back to where you were and be completely safe, that would make sense with what this description's saying. So when I'm reading these two things, I immediately think of that conversation from stream. That was 3 years ago. That's about the amount of time that champions are in the cooker. They're in the oven. Typically, champions are made about 3 years in advance. That would be amazing if either one of these is that. But I'm excited to play either one of them. I think that both of them, lore-wise, sound amazing. And I really do actually care about the Vorthos of new champions when I pick them up. So that's pretty much it. The art and the artist from Ionia. Listen, before you start asking us, we know we always have art for champion teasers, and we had intended for there to be art for a mid laner, but he actually insisted that he created something for us himself. We're really excited at the prospect of having such a masterful artist create art of himself for us. I mean, really, he creates such complex pieces of art. We were astounded at the office, except he gave us a blank canvas. We asked about it, trying to learn more about him, his art, his style. We thought, what is that? Regardless, no art for now. We can... Wait. What? There's a new champion that's an artist? And now a quick Skarner check-in. It hasn't been too long since we dove into Skarner and the multitude of paths we tried, iterated, and refined. Well, we have a direction that we're excited about. It will be a while longer until we get to see our favorite Ixtali scorpions skittering across the road. Okay. And that... Wow! That is a sick update. That is a really sick looking update. It almost looks like a brand new champion. Kind of has a Mordekaiser-y vibe to it, though, doesn't it? It has like some sort of like a Mordekaiser meets Negan from like Walking Dead. And that's it for the roadmap. That is amazing. Okay, changes to ranked. All right, this is the final part. Okay, League of Legends will have 2 ranked resets in season... Huh? Oh my god. This is amazing. This is so good. This is so good. For you guys that don't know, my first like really big competitive game was StarCraft 1, and it was on IC Cup. And I think IC Cup had 6 seasons a year. Each one was 2 months long, I think. One of the most exciting things ever was day 1 of the new season. Now, IC Cup did a thing that Riot does not do yet, and I'm just going to talk about this because I'm praying that it's here when it actually, like, I'm praying that it's in this text. IC Cup hard reset, which means everyone went back to 1,000 MMR. So, basically, day 1 was a party. Day 1, you stood... So, basically, everyone in America and Europe stayed awake. Or they cleared their schedules for the ranked reset. And the reason was because you could never play against Korean pro players. It was basically impossible because they'd get way too high. You can never queue into them. But on day 1, it is free game. And on day 1, everyone has Smurf IDs. So basically, what everyone's doing is on day 1, it's like those days like 20 years ago where people would camp outside for like PlayStations and, you know, Nintendo Wiis and Xboxes, and you'd see the line around like the buildings and stuff. That was the ranked reset every season. And dude, it was some of the best times in gaming history for me, especially. And it was so fun getting to play certain pro players that you would never in a million years get to play. And it was amazing. So I would love if Riot did hard ladder resets twice a year. That would be amazing. Okay, let's read it now. League of Legends will have 2 ranked resets in Season 20. Okay. In addition to these changes, we're also changing promotional series between tiers from best of 5 to best of 3. Okay, and we're removing visible rank influence from your matches. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. There are a number of reasons why we're doing this, and our designers, Seawall, will going all over that below. At the end of the day, we want you to always have a goal to be able to chase and to reward for your accomplishments along the way. Okay, starting next season, ranked skins will be available to players of all ranks and not just gold and above. You'll still earn chromas based on your final rank at the end of the split, so keep climbing for the more colorful chromas. Ranked rewards. With the upcoming changes to ranked, we thought it would be a great time to take another look at our approach rewards. Some of the systems haven't been updated in years and could definitely be improved. We started our split rewards, and the previous track had only 4 rewards, and they were spread pretty far. As a result, the rewards wasn't doing its job of making players feel rewarded for their time spent in ranked. Not to mention, it also wasn't motivating players who don't play a lot of ranked and therefore missed out on rewards. At the same time, we reduced the number of games required to reach each of the existing rewards. Okay. Okay. We're also simplifying how split points are earned. Previously, we attempted to reward players for queuing as fill or compensate them for being auto-filled. But considering the reward track wasn't very motivating to begin with, what we didn't see, okay. Now for the big one. While looking at all of our ranked rewards, we also took a look at the Victoria skin. First of all, players, okay. Wait, what? If it's just a soft reset, man, it almost doesn't do anything. I mean, it does do something. So if you don't play enough games, then you'll get hit twice by the resets, right? Because the resets knock you down certain tiers, right? So I guess that's fine. I also wonder if the current 2-year thing will just be affected by 1 year now. So for people that don't know what I mean, if you don't play any ranked for 2 years, the account goes back to set MMR, or starting MMR, unless Riot's changed it. All in all, these changes are amazing, no matter what. I think that, like, everything is really good. I'm really excited for the bots, and I'm really excited for the champion roadmap. And I'm excited to be able to look at the champions once they finally are released. So that is pretty much it. Hopefully it's all going to be good. But there's nothing about the actual items. There's nothing about the items that are known yet, right? So, I mean, I guess that's it. All right. Well, I mean, that'll be a future video looking at all the items once they're announced. So that's pretty much it. All right, great.